the years, I have learned that collecting notebooks is super easy. Filling them? I did it though. I did it. Actually, I've done it 6 times over the past year, but I'm going to show you my most recent one, and along the way, I'll highlight some tips that help me stay consistent and actually fill these daily logbooks up. This notebook is a completed daily log insert from my traveler's notebook. Not only was it a really effective tool for me when I was using it, it also serves as a memory log of everything I did during these 2 months. Let's look inside so that I can show you why this format is working so well for me and what you might get out of it if you tried it as well.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
This book covers the time that I spent in Colorado. And whenever I'm traveling, I like to get stickers from wherever I am and just put them on my notebook. It's not really a big conscious decorative thing. It's just kind of little souvenirs of places that I've been. I always do my log page at the end of the day. So it's me looking back on the day that I just had. So this isn't a traditional bullet journal with to-do lists and things moving over to the next day or, moving from the day before. This is really just a record of my day's accomplishments and interesting things that happened that day. So you can see here, this is a typical day. I drew my drink. Usually it's my coffee, but sometimes it is something else that I had to drink that day. And I actually talked about why I do that in my last video about 3 creative habits that I stole from other people. So I will link that in the description if you want to find more about that habit. I also write down the date, the day of the week. I include what I wore each day, and then my done lists. This notebook wasn't really intended for public consumption. I wasn't thinking about sharing when I created it. Everything in here was really just for me. So any sketches or drawing that I did in here, or decorating or stickers, it was done just for the joy of it and for practice and experimentation. I know some of these images, like the coffee cup each day, isn't exactly the most riveting content, but it doesn't have to be because it's not for an audience, it's for me. Actually, when I first started drawing, this was the reason. I just wanted to be able to make little pictures in my journal to remind me of what happened on a given day. I wanted to draw out food I ate or places I visited, especially when I was traveling, to have those memories in something other than photographs. I wanted to have it in my own hands as it appeared through my own eyes. And I'm so glad that with some practice, I've been able to accomplish that. I know that my drawings aren't perfect. In some cases, they're not even good, but they do remind me of the moments and they call back to the time I spent sketching on those days. I have always liked ephemera. I've always liked paper, and so I do put some of that in this journal as well. This is a tag from a tea bag, parking pass. This is a sticker someone gave me at a traveler's notebook meetup, a hotel key, a wristband from a hot spring I went to. Not every piece of ephemera I get fits well into a traveler's notebook. I'm specifically looking at you, playbills. But enough does that it really provides even more visceral memories of the time when I was keeping this notebook and carrying it with me everywhere. I jokingly say that my notebook is my external brain, And my daily notebook where I keep lists and stuff really serves that function. But this notebook serves that function too in a completely different way because this one is holding my memories. It's from very basic things like, what did I do last Friday? Or what was I wearing the last time I saw this friend? Or when did I start on this project? And how long has it been that I had that stuffy nose? I have a record in this. And it comes in handy more often than you'd think as I try to go back and put dates to specific events that happened.
Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be.
The format of my daily log is always evolving. I don't hesitate to change things up. And some days I track more than other days. For example, here I have a day and a half spent on one day. And here I have 2 days on one page. Most of the time it's a page a day, but using this setup of a blank notebook instead of a daily calendar notebook really gives me the freedom to play with the format. And that's been a lot of fun. I also think that allowing myself to change things up is what allows me to stick with it. It keeps it from getting boring. That, and you can't expect the same amount of energy out of yourself every day. So if you only have it in you to write a line or two, you can do that. And if you're really feeling it and want to fill multiple pages, you can do that as well. Life happens. You get sick or people around you do. You miss out on sleep. You have days where you just don't get a chance to sit down. And that's all totally normal. And it's definitely not a cause for considering yourself a failure. I think in the past, before I started giving myself this leeway, if I missed a couple days, I would just declare a notebook done. I'd failed at it. There's no point in going back. And there absolutely is a point in going back. The more I do this, the more I know that if I have a day where not much happens, it's fine to just jot down the date and maybe what I wore and not much happened, or I was sick. There will be other days when I feel 2 pages with illustrations and really enjoy myself in the decoration and creating a keepsake. I do this because I enjoy it, not because I'm being a self-taskmaster. Keeping that attitude is the reason I'm able to complete things now. Expecting perfection is setting yourself up for failure. So don't do that. Just don't. Take mistakes, take misentries, take ugly pages in stride. And just move on to the next day. And the next day, and the next, and the next. That is how you build a life. And that is how you build a notebook. Until next time, I am wishing you love and joy and all of those good things, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, you might like this one that I made about the 3 insert system that I use for logging, tracking, and diving in my traveler's notebook.